Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to DoMagettiIELTS.com with me, Trevor Gordon, your teacher. In today's IELTS speaking improvement lesson, we're going to look at a part 2 topic, which is one of the current topics. When I say current, this is from September to December 2020. So now we're actually in October 2020. So this is one of the current question batches, or one of them. So in today's lesson, we're going to describe a person who taught you something important. And as you can see, most of the things we learn come from teachers. Other things come from family members, friends, and work colleagues, etc. So there's a lot of people who do teach us things, but the people who are generally paid to teach us things, for want of a better expression, are teachers. So that's why I've used those as an example. And you will hear the same in my example today. So you should say who the person is, what they taught you, how they taught you, and why what they taught you was important. So, prepare by making notes. Always have multiple choices of what you're going to talk about for each one, because you might try to talk about something and it just doesn't work, and maybe you don't know how to talk about it, or you don't know what to say or whatever. So don't just write one thing down, write several things down. If one doesn't work, try another one. And even if the second one doesn't work, try another one. Try something until you feel comfortable. And you can say to yourself, yeah, I can talk about this quite confidently. So, examples. An old school teacher, your parents, a friend, an instructor. All of these people can teach you something, and often do teach you something. Probably the friend is the one who may teach you the least, because an instructor is a teacher. Parents teach you lots of things. You learn from our parents. We do learn from our friends, but that is probably the one that I would not choose, because it's more difficult to talk about for me. So I would choose someone who actually teaches. But if you have an example that you can use for a friend, then you should use it. What did they teach? A language, a science, how to drive, how to swim, for example. I've chosen swimming today because, again, it's something that everyone knows about. Everyone knows swimming. There are many things that I've learned to do, but some of them would be too complicated to explain, and many people haven't done these things. So it's always better to pick something that people know about. Even the examiner, if you're going to explain something to an examiner, don't explain something so difficult that the examiner thinks, what is it? I've never heard of it before. So pick something simple. How did you learn? By examples, simple explanations, good examples. You can even put here demonstration. Why did it help you? It helped me in my life, or it helped me get a job. It's something I still enjoy. So from the first time I learnt it, I still do it even now. So getting enjoyment from it. Vocabulary. Goals, tuition, compulsory. Shallow water, qualified, swimming instructor. Buoyant, breaststroke, basic strokes. The reason a lot of this is related to swimming is because I've chosen swimming. When you look at your vocabulary, you could use some of this, you just can't use the specific stuff. Basic strokes, breaststrokes, buoyant, swimming instructor, shallow water. The rest of it you can use, but those are specific to swimming. Okay, so follow along, and Learn and memorize. When I say memorize, I don't mean memorize word for word. What I actually mean is memorize and learn some of the expressions and the way that you can use them, and you can incorporate them into what you're using as your example. So that's what I mean. I've learnt many things during my life. Some have been very valuable, while others have been less so. One thing I was taught was how to swim during my school life. In fact, when I was in junior school. Swimming was compulsory in my school and everyone had to learn it. Some of my classmates hated it, but I didn't mind doing it, as it was something I had not done before. I had been in shallow water at the beach when I was on holiday, but I never went further than I could stand in. The lady who was my teacher was a lady named Mrs. Howard. She was not a school teacher, but a qualified swimming instructor, and she taught many students from many schools. We used to arrive in our class groups, and she got us to stand in the water while she demonstrated how to stay buoyant in the water. After this, she introduced us to the basic strokes, such as breaststroke and front crawl. Those students who were less confident were allowed to wear inflatable rings and armbands. I learnt to swim in around 2 to 3 weeks and never felt uncomfortable or scared in the water. The best piece of advice she gave me was never be afraid to put your head under the water, as this was the main aspect of swimming which most people were afraid of. This was one of the best things I learned in my life. I have swam in seas and oceans in many countries and have never felt scared in the water since. Okay, that's the end of it. Again, it's going to be about 1 minute 50, something like that. Again, if you want to use this, you can change it and add your own detail to it. But practice it with a clock. Make sure the clock is there, because the important thing is your timing. At least 1 minute 45. Hit that. Once you've hit 1 minute 45, you will not be penalised for your time. If you do, for example, 1 minute 20, 1 minute 25, or less than 1 minute 30, you will be penalised for your time. So make sure you speak for long enough, and practice. When you're speaking, look at the clock so you know how long the time is. This needs repetition. You can't do it once or twice. You need to do it again and again. Some additional vocabulary and expressions. I won't go through them, even though there are only a few. Look at them, stop the video, and again, some of them are relevant to swimming, some are not relevant to swimming. But if you want to talk about swimming, which, as I said before, is a general, universal topic, everyone knows about swimming. So if you want to use it, then you can use all the vocabulary. Practice the format, the vocabulary, and use them to fit the job you're going to, well, it's not a job, but you're going to talk about, or use this one. You do not have to talk about a real thing, just talk so you can answer the points and use the vocabulary well to enhance your score. Good luck and keep practicing. Now, you can go to our website if you'd like to book classes, or there's plenty of English exercises and vocabulary and many things on our website. Do Nageti IELTS to help you. We also have a free course site that has a grammar course and 2 different IELTS courses, a 10-hour one for higher level students and a 20-hour one for lower level students. So take a look at those sites, and if you want to register, you could just go ahead and register. Right, thank you for your time. That's the end of this video, so I will see you in our next video.